Welcome to the deep dive. It really feels like we're kind of living through science fiction becoming, well, reality, especially when you look at the recent explosion of progress in artificial
It's
intelligence.
moving incredibly fast.
Yeah. We've sifted through a really fascinating collection of the latest science and tech news, and let me tell you, some of the developments are just, well, mind-blowing.
Absolutely.
So our goal today, really cut through the hype. Let's try and understand the most significant leaps forward in AI and what they could actually mean for all of us.
Right. And what's really striking, I think, about these recent updates isn't just the new capabilities themselves, but how quickly these advancements are moving, from the lab into practical applications, things that could touch our daily lives in uh, pretty profound ways.
Okay, so where do we even begin with this wave of innovation? How about we dive into something super personal?
Personalized medicine.
Good place to start. Our sources are highlighting how AI is increasingly being used to analyze our unique genetic blueprints. What's the real, breakthrough here?
Well, what's particularly groundbreaking, I'd say, is the level of detail and just the sheer volume of data that AI can process now. Think of it like this. Our genes hold this enormous amount of information, right?
Mm-hmm.
And AI algorithms can sift through these massive data sets, find these subtle patterns, and predict how an individual might respond to a specific disease or treatment. It's doing it in ways that, frankly, a human doctor just couldn't manage alone. The scale is immense.
And it sounds like this is already making a real difference. Like in fighting cancer, the updates talk about AI predicting how different tumors might react to various therapies. That's huge, isn't it?
It truly is,
Yeah.
yeah. Consider this. For a patient, facing a cancer diagnosis, knowing which treatment is most likely to actually work right from the get-go, that can be life-altering.
Absolutely.
AI's ability to analyze the specific genetic features of a tumor, predict its behavior. It means doctors can move towards much more targeted therapies. They could potentially avoid treatments that would just be ineffective, and focus on the ones with the highest chance of success.
So less trial and error.
Exactly. It's moving away from that sort of one-size-fits-all approach to something much, much more precise, tailored to the individual.
Okay. So from our individual biology to, well, how we communicate. Another area that seems to be evolving incredibly fast thanks to AI is natural language processing. NLP.
Ah, NLP.
Yes.
These AI models are getting remarkably good at understanding and even generating human-like text. It's almost like they're learning to speak our language fluently.
That's a great way to put it. And the key here, I think, is how these models are developing a much deeper understanding of context. They're not just recognizing words anymore. They're starting to grasp the meaning behind them, the nuances, the subtleties of human conversation. It's something previous generations of AI just couldn't really do.
And this isn't just about those slightly annoying chatbots we sometimes bump into online, is it? The updates suggest these advancements have much broader implications.
Oh, definitely. Way beyond that. Things like customer service, healthcare, even education. Can you maybe paint a picture of how this might play out?
Sure. Imagine virtual assistants that can truly understand complex requests, not just keywords, but the actual intent, and provide helpful, personalized responses.
Yeah.
That can make customer service interactions far more efficient, maybe less frustrating,
Hopefully.
right? And in healthcare, NLP could help doctors maybe analyze patient notes much faster, more accurately,
Mhm.
freeing up their time to focus on the actual patient care.
I see.
And, in education, maybe AI-powered tools that can tailor learning experiences for individual students,
Hmm.
offering personalized feedback support. It's really about making technology a more intuitive and helpful partner in these really critical areas.
We also keep hearing about these transformer models like GPT 3.5 and, the ones that came after. What makes them such a big deal in NLP?
Okay, so think of maybe traditional language models like
Yeah.
they read a sentence word by word, trying to understand it sequentially, left to right. Transformer models, though, they can kind of look at all the words in a sentence or even a whole paragraph simultaneously. They understand the relationships between the words, no matter where they are.
Ah,
It's like
wow.
seeing the whole puzzle at once, not just one piece at a time. And this architectural difference, it allows them to grasp context much better and generate more coherent, more sophisticated text, even across different languages, which is another big step.
Right. That makes sense. Okay, shifting gears now to something that definitely feels very futuristic, autonomous systems.
Yes, the robots are coming. Sort of.
Ah, well, yeah, self-driving cars, delivery drones. The kind of tech that maybe seemed decades away just a few years back, the sources indicate they're becoming significantly more reliable now. What's driving that progress?
Well, a lot of it comes down to more advanced machine learning algorithms. It's how they learn. Imagine teaching a computer to drive. You're not explicitly programming every single possible scenario, because you can't.
Right, impossible.
Instead, you let it learn from just vast amounts of data and, crucially, real-world experience or simulated experience. Techniques like reinforcement learning, that's where the system learns by trial and error, basically. It gets feedback on its actions, good or bad.
Okay.
And also unsupervised learning, where the system finds patterns in data without being explicitly told what to look for. These are making autonomous systems much more adaptable. They're getting better at making decisions in real time in complex, unpredictable environments.
And the potential uses go way beyond just, getting us from point A to point B, don't they? You mentioned drones, but also logistics, agriculture, even environmental monitoring.
Exactly. Think about the potential for, say, much more efficient and cost-effective delivery services using autonomous vehicles, or precision agriculture,
What's that exactly?
using AI and sensor data to optimize resource use, water, fertilizer, down to like the individual plant level almost.
Yeah.
Huge potential for sustainability.
Wow.
Or drones monitoring forests for early signs of disease or helping in search and rescue after a disaster. The ability for these systems to operate independently, often in difficult or dangerous environments, it just opens up a whole world of possibilities.
Okay, another area where AI is making these incredible visual strides. Computer vision.
Teaching machines to see.
Exactly. The ability for machines to interpret images in real time is becoming remarkably accurate. And the sources mention convolutional neural networks, CNNs, as being key. Sounds technical. Can you break that down?
Sure, I can try. Imagine CNNs having layers of specialized filters. The first layers might scan an image looking for really basic visual features like edges, corners, simple textures.
Okay.
Then these simple features get combined in subsequent layers to recognize more complex things, like maybe combining edges and corners to recognize a shape, and then combining shapes to recognize an object, like a face or a stop sign or a cat.
So it builds up complexity.
Precisely. It's a hierarchical process, actually kind of inspired by how our own visual cortex is thought to work. It allows machines to learn to identify patterns in visual data with really impressive accuracy now.
And again, our sources point to big impacts in healthcare and the automotive industry. How are these sort of visual capabilities being used there?
Well, in healthcare, computer vision is huge for analyzing medical images, like X-rays, MRIs, CT scans. It's helping doctors detect diseases like cancer, sometimes at very early stages, maybe even before a human radiologist might spot something subtle.
That's incredible.
It really is. And in the automotive sector, well, it's the core technology behind self-driving cars, right? Enabling them to perceive their surroundings, identify other vehicles, pedestrians, cyclists, lane markings, obstacles, and make safe driving decisions based on that visual input.
Right. Indispensable.
Absolutely. But the applications, they don't stop there. Then quality control in manufacturing, spotting defects, security surveillance, even things like helping visually impaired individuals navigate their environment. It's really broad.
Okay, now this is where things get, for me anyway, almost back into that pure science fiction realm. Generative AI.
The creators.
Yeah. We're talking about AI models that can actually create new content, text, images, code, music, which is incredible sophistication. GPT-4 gets mentioned a lot as an example. How is this even possible?
Well, at a perhaps simplified level, these models learn the underlying patterns, the structures, the sort of rules from vast amounts of existing data, whether that's text from the internet, millions of images, hours of music.
Okay.
Then when you give them a prompt, like asking a question or telling it to paint a picture in a certain style, they use that learned understanding to generate something entirely new, content that often mimics human creativity, or at least the patterns found in human-created content.
So it's like they've learned the grammar of creativity.
That's a pretty good analogy, actually. The grammar and vocabulary of creation in these different forms. And then they can produce original sentences or paragraphs, whether that's text, images, or music. It's quite remarkable.
It really is. So we're seeing these incredible leaps in all these different areas: medicine, language, autonomy, vision, creation. What's the overarching trend here? How are all these pieces starting to kind of fit together?
I think the big picture is this increasing integration of AI into just about every aspect of our lives, our industries. It's less about isolated AI applications doing one specific thing anymore. We're seeing AI being woven into existing systems, automating complex processes, analyzing those vast amounts of data we talked about to provide insights we've frankly never had access to before,
Hmm.
and ultimately augmenting human capabilities, not just replacing them.
Augmenting, that's a key word.
I think so. And the convergence of AI with other big technologies like the Internet of Things, that huge network of connected devices constantly generating
Reach
data.
sensors
Yeah,
everywhere.
exactly. And edge computing, which means processing data closer to where it's generated, rather than sending everything to the cloud. Combining AI with IoT and edge is particularly powerful. It enables real-time analysis and decision-making right where it's needed. Think faster response in autonomous systems or immediate analysis of factory floor data.
Okay, so to kind of bring it all together for you, the listener, we've explored how AI is really revolutionizing personalized medicine, understanding our unique genetic code,
Uh-huh.
transforming how we communicate through huge advancements in natural language processing,
Yes, NLP.
making autonomous systems like cars and drones more reliable and potentially widespread,
Getting there.
giving machines this incredible power to truly see and interpret the world around them via computer vision,
Seeing and understanding.
and even enabling the creation of entirely new forms of content, things we haven't seen before, through generative AI.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
And the key takeaway, I think, the overarching theme, is this accelerating trend of AI becoming more deeply embedded, more integrated into the fabric of our world. It promises to unlock new efficiencies,
Mhm.
definitely create new kinds of jobs and opportunities, and ultimately reshape how we live and work in some pretty fundamental ways.
Absolutely. But, with all this power comes responsibility, doesn't it? We didn't touch much on it, but the ethical side, data privacy, job displacement,
Yeah.
that's crucial too.
Oh, absolutely critical.
So,
And that's an ongoing massive conversation. We need really robust ethical guidelines, transparency, fairness baked into these systems from the start. Responsible development and deployment are paramount. It's not just about can we do it, but should we do it and how should we do it? That requires ongoing research, public debate, thoughtful
and
regulation.
a whole other deep dive,
Yeah.
perhaps. So, as you go about your day, maybe think about this. With all these rapid advancements we've discussed, how might these AI technologies uniquely impact your own life? Or maybe the future of an industry you're passionate about? It's a really fascinating and maybe slightly intimidating landscape to consider. Thanks for taking this deep dive into the world of AI with us today.